Oh boy, Friendsim episode 4, because I haven't recorded this in a good while, sadly. But, I did some camera adjustment this time, so instead of 4 black bars on the edges of the screen, there should only be 2. See? It's perfect. Now, how about we go on to volume 4 of Right and Wrong. Is that a Phoenix Wright reference? Oh gee, this is gonna be fun. Volume 4. Volume 5 is about where it gets blind, because I think I only did one half of it. Well, not completely blind, but you know what, I don't need to explain this again. Fresh from your most recent bout of gratuitous bodily injury and touching scenes of camaraderie, you soldier on. You've had a few setbacks, made a couple silly choices. Boy, do things just keep happening. But let nobody say that you, the main character, are incapable of growth and change. You have made sure not to be caught in the wilderness near dawn again. You have made your way back to civilization. You can't wait to discover what new adventures await you. Adventures like friendship. I like Tagore more. We have Tagore Gorjek, Phoenix Wright, lawyer, and Vic R. Ratite, Skyboy. Let's do Gore. Yes. You wander down a street in a not too demolished looking part of town, but you don't really take much of it in. You're not looking where you're going. This is an elementary mistake, especially on a planet where everything that exists seems to be on a spectrum of engineered specifically for murder to could be a weapon in a pinch. But you've got a lot on your mind. And now, as a car, these guys probably have some ridiculous word for it, but you haven't learned it. You hadn't noticed slams into use, sending you flipping head over feet. You add a few new concerns to your list. Your bones and organs. The sound of the driver yelling, "Watch where you're going, lump squirt sugar!" fades as they drive away, and you assess your situation. You stretch each limb in turn, which, you gotta say, doesn't feel great. You've landed in a bush which is covered in sharp spines, oh my. Your arms and legs all still work though, and when you do an experimental cough, no blood comes out. Pretty lucky, you think. You may have redefined what luck means by this point in your journey, but you'll take what you can get. You don't figure that luck will extend to the driver turning around to help you out of this bush. Your gazes meeting and sparking an immediate and intense connection that leads to a beautiful lifelong friendship, but you let yourself hope. After a few minutes of struggle, the answer to your comradely daydreams comes into focus above you, a figure outlined by the spiny leaves of your plant prison and the glow of the moons. The troll, you see, isn't the driver of the car, but you don't care. Your heart is beating wildly with your continued lucky streak. Now I gotta think of a voice. Oh, so this is cool. Hello! You seem to have fallen victim to a colliding skipper with that scuttlebuggy back there. Plus 50 introductory fee. Have you contacted your personal legasterator? If not, I'd like to offer my services. This is basically a bill. Plus 10 is added every time he talks. My name's Tagore Gorjek, but please call me Gorgor. I'm here for you, for a nominal fee, of course. He pulls a business card from his sleek teal vest and offers it to you with a precise flick of the wrist. His claw beds are perfect. You try again to sit up, buoyed by this offer for assistance. He's some type of doctor maybe, or a lawyer? Doesn't matter really, because he said he was here for you. Those words go right ahead and burn themselves onto the softest chamber of your heart. You start telling him your plight thus far, reaching up through the brambles towards this beacon of hope. This guy seems trustworthy, and that's not just your lack of absence talking, we swear. As you shift, the moonlight shines on you. He steps back briefly, dropping the card. The one eye that's not covered by a swoop of product-infused hair opens wide. He recovers, smoothing his hands down his chest and straightening up, clearing his throat as you continue to explain. You're... what? Oh, yes, you're an alien. I knew that. I've done work with aliens before, so your situation shouldn't be an issue at all. Plus 200 alien legasterator stipend. Everyone deserves an equal opportunity to be represented by me. In fact, we may be able to use it in our favor for a larger cachet settlement. It all depends on our angle. Here, try moving your chug column. Oh! That's like supposed to mark he's done talking with a low signature line. Like you're signing a document. You aren't sure why this is necessary, but you wiggle your torso, hoping that's right. You've never wanted anything more in your meager existence than to follow this specific directive perfectly. No, not that. You had a little hip jiggle, not so much that I might think it's a come on, but enough to say, hey, I'm friendly and I know what the fuck I am doing. No, you're the thing that holds up your sink pan. Work with me. Plus 60 confusion and emolument. You continue what you hope is part of a troll friendship ritual, shimmying various parts of your tongue deeper into the bush until you get to your neck, and he clasps his hands together. There we go. That one hurt, didn't it? Definitely a case of column snap, which can get us a decently hefty restitution. Your neck feels fine, or it doesn't hurt any more than the rest of you, but you give him what you hope is a convincingly painful nod of agreement. Of course, you will need to front the initial legislation costs. We may also have to injure you further to ensure our case is convincing, but you gotta break a few clutch-beast embryos and make a grublet, as you well know. Plus 500 initial costs. Yes, I think we may make a mutually beneficial team if you're willing to do what it takes to bring about the justice you deserve. So what do you say? How would you like to help me help you? He's talking really fast, and you're not sure exactly what to think about your lack of funds or the idea of breaking any more bones, but that smile is sharp and shiny and pointed right at you. You want more of it. Boop. Ask him. You know what? Yeah, it's best to not lie. Ask him if he does pro bono work. You explain to him profusely. You thank him profusely for his offer to help and explain that while your situation hasn't exactly left you very rich, you'll pay him back in glorious friendship, the most infinite of resources. You lay it on thick. He seems like a guy who can appreciate a good deal when he sees one, and you can't imagine a better deal than this. You reach both arms up, waiting for him to scoop you up out of this pain plant like the gentle baby you are. Sorry, I don't do charity. Such a shame, too. I was hoping working with an alien might make for a more interesting day than usual. Plus 900, you're not worth it. No! Minus 900, you're not worth it. That's so mean. He turns on his heel and walks away, his high ponytail switching beneath him. Friendship is not a currency. Perfect. Pure perfection. Boop. Oh, heck you. Tell him about the heaps of money you definitely have. You mentioned how incredibly loaded you are, and how core to your sense of values it is to pay well for good work. That's what we call good business. Now, get up out of that pickle front and let's get you presentable. He watches you flail a few times before he sighs, unbuttons his sleeves, and rolls them up to his elbows. Each fold is crisp and even. It takes a while, but you're good at being patient. There's a 12% cost increase for instances of manual labor. It will all be explained in your bill. Plus 110 manual labor hike. It's itemized. I'm sure an alien of means such as yourself will be able to handle it. You take his hand and he pulls you up and out of the bush. It's kind of a rough job. He's not as strong as he looks, you guess. He glares at you like he is daring you to say shit about it. And you are a quick learner. He cuts you off mid-thank you. My office isn't far from here. We can go there to get things started. And by things, I absolutely mean get you clean and sign a lot of vaguely wordy yet strangely binding documents. He walks with a purpose. You shake off the floor stuck in your various body parts and you do your best to catch up. From the outside, his office basically just seems like his hive. You've learned a thing or two during this shitstorm of a cultural exchange, though. You gotta play it cool when a potential friend invites you home. You never know what cages or monsters or methods of evisceration they might have laying around, and you want to prepare a nice, chill look on your face for whatever carnage you're about to be confronted by. It doesn't work. Look, Lucius, it's a little weasel thing. I want to pet it. Pet. Lucius has been pet. I'm happy. It doesn't work. Your face falls to bewildered hell when you walk inside because it's all chrome and glass and broad white walls in there. It's like he bought the fanciest looking crate and barrel display room he could find down to the last useless minimalist accessory and then never sat down in it. His Lucius, a ferret. Oh, it's a ferret, not a weasel. I'm sorry for misspecies labeling you, or whatever. Heck. His Lucius, a ferret, is chilling on an enormous silver thing that's halfway between a throne and a play tower. Everything is clean and bright and at perfect right angles, and you don't see any weapons anywhere. Perfect! It's fucking creepy, oh no. You ask him if he just moved in because polite conversation seems like maybe the best thing you can do. In the absence of something specific to focus your fear on, you're just sort of a little afraid of everything. You're not paying me to learn my life story, unless you like to. In that case, no, I've lived here most of my life. I'll go ahead and add that to your bill. 1,500 life story installment. You stare at one of the chairs. Should you sit in it? By all means, do not make yourself at home. Head straight to my abolition chapel while I prepare our contract. You really didn't want to connect with the guy, and you like how you were just vibed there where you were thinking about sitting your bed-raggled ass in this fancy chair, and he could totally tell you could thinking about it. But you don't want to be friends badly enough to walk straight into something that has the word trap right there in its name without at least pondering it for a second. You become savvier during all this. Well, actually I could just say that there. No! I mean, I do actually know what the abolition trap is, but if for in character purposes, let's say, no entrap it, please. I think this is the wrong option anyway. You tell him you would rather stay away from any and all traps, if that's alright. You mention that you think that's the better move for both of you. Something tells you that this guy wants to know what's in it for him. Probably all the times he's explicitly said that. You do have that vibe going after all. He taps a claw on his chin and looks you up and down. He takes his time. You try not to blush, no matter how exacting his gaze is. You present a solid case. Your whole look is more than a bit repellent, but it may make the pitiable lost alien angle more and mostly effective. You still look like you just got run over. I think I have to pause it. Heck. I am alive. I got some food and now I'm not starving to death anymore. But I ate off camera, so there weren't just loud crunching sounds like I can't emulate crunching sounds. Anyway, your whole look is more than a bit of repellent, but it may make the pitiable lost alien angle more emotionally effective. You still look like you just got run over. Frown. It takes you a second to realize that he didn't just say his physical emotive response instead of doing it with his face. He's giving you a direction. You stick your lower lip out and try to look as pathetic as possible. Yes, this is really working for me. It's awful, completely repugnant. Plus 450 of pungency payment. Your general squalor should function as a simple manipulation tactic, no matter which direction I decide to spin it. The praise makes it hard to keep frowning, but you do your best to keep it up. You even hunch over a bit and shamble a few meager steps towards him. Great, yes. That's enough. No need to come any closer. Plus 450, seriously, you smell terrible. Okay then, we'll skip the hiding and get straight to the best part, bureaucracy. Stay right there and don't get any of your crusty alien orifices near my decor. I'll go print out our contract and we can move on. Reimbursement for ink. Re-inkbursement. Good pun. Ha. Okay, I'm back. Time to die. You pretend you're a statue while he types things, and prints the typed things, then staples the printed things. His ferret Lucis stares at you with beady interest. You stare back, completely motionless. You wonder how often Gorgor has friends over. He brings the packet over to you and hands you a pen. Read this, or don't. Sign it either way. It's a standard legislator agreement, tweaked a bit to accommodate your particular situation. You agreed to submit your testimony to be judged and will accept whatever subjugulation you receive. You recognize that any potential winnings are to be remitted to me for processing through a local account before your portion can be dispensed to you. In the event of your calling, I will act as an executor of your account. Blah blah, same old business. I'm sure it's the same where you're from. There are stars at each place you are to initial. Shrugging text expense. That sure was live stuff you just got told real fast. You're trying to listen, really, but he winked at you early on in his monologue, and it was really distracting because you couldn't stop thinking about if you could incorporate a wink into a secret handshake, maybe. Anyway, regular legal jargon, yeah, just like all the times you click to say you read the terms and conditions on any old harmless social media app. That stuff never ends up being relevant. You show off your exquisitely polished John Hancock as many times as it takes. No. Excellent. Everything's in order then. Are you ready to head out? Oh, like now? Now you're not ready. Do you look roughed up enough? Will your bones need to go through any more deals? What's a subjugulator? Does Tagora no sweep like the one you're fucking in, as they say? Minus 50 swear jar. Pardon the language, it's an idiom. I mean, it's time to fucking go. Let's watch the fucking language. You follow him out about as apprehensively as you followed him in. As you retrace the path you took not too long ago, it occurs to you to wonder where this glorious feat of justice is going to take place, and if anyone is going to subpoena, I don't know, the asshole that hit you. Is that even a thing here? You skip up to match Tagora's pace mask. There's no real need for you to worry about that. It's for me to deal with. I still the perpetrator, of course. If it seems prudent to pin a crime on them when the time comes, I will have more than enough credible evidence to condemn them. Their blood caste should be sufficient, but if it seems worth it to call their dentist scuttlebuggy, I can certainly do that as well. Bonus for a potential frame job. Of course, that's not the only way we can spin this. It may not be necessary to involve them at all. Don't bother worrying about that either. You definitely still worry about that, but you nod and keep walking like you're not bothered. You want to match his level of easy confidence. It's almost comforting to be around it, now that you've spent some time with him. It's simple. You're still basking in the ease of being told what to do when the whole vibe flips over on its ass so fast you feel it like ice down your back. You look at Tagore first and stop to walking, and his posture somehow gets straighter. Even his cute little ponytail thing looks more alert. He's staring at the approach of another troll. A blue guy. You know that means high blood, but not much else about what that entails, aside from what you're picking up from the full hair on and cat reaction from old Gorgor next to you. Pleasant evening, sir. His voice gets somehow sweeter and more professional at the same time. You recognize what he's feeling because you felt it in yourself the whole time you've been on this god-forsaken planet. A deep, all-consuming thirst for approval. He's gunning hard for a business boy friendship. The high blood, however, is not. At first, you think he might be chill because his smile gets huge, and hell if you don't love getting smiled upon. You start to introduce yourself until Tagore shoots you a "be cool" look. It's then that you learn that this guy's smile is not the nice guy. What? What's this? He asked. Gorgor picked up a little friend. It's not. We have a working relationship. I know exactly who this is. They actually come back in a later volume. You try not to let the dismissal of your friendship sting. You're not there yet. It's okay. Okay, didn't get extra charges. You want to be helpful, so you put on your best injured face and start hobbling in a circle, twisting your neck in the most grotesque angle you can manage without actually hurting yourself. You groan pitifully about all your bones. Oh, right, your booming drone pursuing business. This, client you have here looks extra shitty. Good luck getting anything good for whatever this mutant is that you scraped up from the gristle grate. If you take a moment to consider the potential... The blue guy rolls his eyes and keeps walking, elbowing his way between the two of you on his way past like you're nothing. Tagore freezes. His eyes stay fixed ahead of him, where the blue guy was just standing. It's like he hasn't processed the movement yet, even though he got knocked back a few steps in his wake. He starts shaking. Yikes, that was, tense. You want to say something reassuring to Tagore, but he has kind of ascended into another plane of existence. Maybe a nice reassuring pat on the shoulder will help diffuse the mood. You put a ginger hand in the mere vicinity of his body and he whirls to face you, eyes narrowed and breathing heavy. You snatch your hand back fast. Mistake. You! We're getting plus 50 every time he talks now. Do you have any idea how rare that networking opportunity was? Do you realize what you... Damages for slide down anti-social ladder? No, of course you don't. You don't know anything. You're just a weird little hornless thing who doesn't even know how to cross the fucking street. Return of swear jar. Oh god. He starts laughing all high-pitched and weird. Oh god, that sounded more like a panic attack than a laugh. He starts laughing all high-pitched and weird. Up until now, he seems so slick, so unflappable. That Gorgor is hard to reconcile with the one pacing back and forth, hollering and grasping at his face. He's pretty goddamn flapped. Oh boy, you really screwed up, huh? Maybe your busted neck routine was not convincing enough, or too convincing. Either way, you figure now might be the time to bow out before the scene really blows up. You tell him so. Your neck is fine. Look, you headbang a bit to prove it. No. A deal is a deal. Is a deal. A plus 100 every time he talks. Oh god. He breathes in slowly through his nose. Alright, Gorgor. Remember your mantra. He closes his eyes after an awkward minute of watching him whisper something unintelligible to himself. He opens them and immediately starts up that bonkers pace again, so you skedaddle to catch up. He keeps talking, though by now he's just talking to himself with you as an eavesdropping barnacle with really slow legs. Little manic giggles bubble out in between his sentences. We're headed towards justice, alright. Plus 200, he's going insane. Keep walking. We're seeing this through. I've got a bottom line to uphold. Okay, not bad. Maybe things are still cool between you. Maybe this lawyer/client relationship still has a chance to blossom into something more. You venture a friendly type topic and ask him about his mantra. He stops asking and looks at you like you shat on his Lucis's grave. You don't just ask someone what their mantra is. Mantra request for forfeiture. Maybe not so cool. He shivers, spooked, and turns his stanky stare from you to the path you're on. After a moment, he smooths back all the hairs he shook out of place during his freakout, pivots, and turns it down a side street. Anyway, as I was about to say, there are many ways to fulfill the terms of our contract. Plus 300. I was hoping this would lead to a more stimulating evening. I was prepared to get into it with you. For you. But it has become clear that this partnership is no longer worth the work. Especially now that I will have to consider significant career setback and this experience at your feckless hand. So instead of wasting any more time or years, let's take the shortcut to the same end result, sparing us both the agony of enduring a long court battle in the proximity of one another. Here's your verdict. You're guilty. Guilty verdict, immersement. Guilty? Wait, wasn't it supposed to be the other guys on trial? You look around, panic rising in your chest. Don't tell me. You don't know how the legal system works either. Unsurprising and uninteresting. Plus 400. Oh, this is bad. You've been so caught up in watching him talk that you didn't notice him guiding you straight to the shittier part of town. You know, the part that's all half demolished hives and creepy noises and drones flying around. Drones like the one that turns to notice you when Tagore whistles, snaps his finger, and points right at your head. Hey, big guy. Plus 500. Over here. One extremely malformed and unviable troll. Just the way you like it. You shouldn't feel surprised at this betrayal, maybe, but you do, for a second anyway. Then you focus on yelling and scanning for possible debris to hide under. Tagore starts backing away as the drone gets closer. There's a sewer the next street over. Plus 750. You probably won't make it. But if you do, check your pocket. Do specified for bad end. Game over. We're fucked, basically. The end. Where were we? Well. I guess. Only thing we can do is take a goddamn bath. You're more than a little concerned about the trap part of the instructions you just received, but hey, at least a trap you know about is better than one you don't. And with everything else you can see so freaky pristine, he has to be hiding some evil somewhere. You wonder if it's a dungeon. A dungeon would be cool. It wasn't cool last time you were in one. Also, what is this painting? Looks like a ship's steering wheel, honestly. And what is this brown blob? Huh. Interesting. The ferret bounds. Oh no! Oh god! The ferret bounds off this pedestal and jerks his head for you to follow it. You do, because it seems like a regular thing to do, and Tagore is busy on his computer. It leads you to a bathroom, which is just as fancy and clean as everything else you've seen. Jump into the bathroom. Boop. 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 Diaper. Oh! I can click down on the mouse wheel for that to see the frickin'... If I click down on the mouse wheel, I can see a view of the entire thing. Hold on. My. The Lucius chitters at you for a second, squirms its big noodle body around, and leaves, shutting the door behind it. Heck. Oh my. You wait a second till it's probably gone before you touch the handle. It's unlocked, huh? You wonder what the point or motive might be for leading you to this room until you turn and see yourself in the mirror. That is some haggard looking stuff right there, so fair. You're flying by the seat of your pants, but you guess maybe you're supposed to take a bath? If not, and he gets pissed and unleashes a ferret on you, at least you'll meet your maker nice and clean. You had to expect some indiscernible goo or blood or something to come out of the faucet in the weird lumpy tub, but thankfully, it's just water. Once you're in, you take a look at the truly inordinate amount of bath products you have at your fingertips. There are 3 shelves of little bottles and soaps and unidentifiable leathersome accessories by the tub alone. There's even more by the mirror. The labels are all gibberish, of course, but you sniff a few until you find something flowery and go to town. You take more time than you should in there, but you haven't experienced a moment of luxurious solitude in a bit. Full-time friendship searching can be difficult work. It's good to recharge. Once you're freshly scrubbed and dried, you slaughter yourself head to toe with some lotion you find in an iridescent vial. You hope he won't mind you using it. He wants you to be presentable, and this stuff is sparkly. You're starting to feel rejuvenated as hell, ready to knock this French stuff right out of the park. You leave your dirty, torn-up clothes on the floor, wrap yourself in one of the many satin bathrobes folded on a shelf, and head back out to find Tagore. He's standing in his foyer. It is foyer, right? Foyer? It looks like it'd be pronounced foyer, but I've heard it be pronounced foyer, so... He's standing in his foyer, waiting with the contract he typed up for you. When he sees you, his eyebrows ticks up. I see you went with the Rainbow Drinker Serum. Full body application. Bold choice. I mean, it's an incredibly rare and expensive product, and I do expect to be remunerated, but I won't lie, it works. Crush fresh handmade troll cosmetics. Oh my god, that is expensive. Yeah, sure, that stuff. You don't want to let on that you don't know what it is, since he seems impressed. Instead, you give his ego a little stroke and tell him you hadn't seen such a sumptuous array of self-care accoutrements in so long that you couldn't help yourself. Not everyone takes skincare as seriously as they could. I assumed you were taking forever in there because you'd gotten lost or didn't know how to use the abolition trap. I hadn't considered the possibility that you were just doing your regimen. Noted. My 500 rebate for impeccable skincare. Aw. We impressed him. I feel proud of myself. You hold your arms out to admire the well-hydrated sheen you have going on. This time, you're not really even bullshitting. It just does actually look pretty good. Tagore seems like he's struggling. He keeps opening his mouth to say something, then changing his mind. He's clutching the documents in his hands like a flotation device. He looks down at them, then back at you. I typically only use that particular product to highlight my cheek blades, but there's no real reason you should apply it more liberally, especially if cost isn't an issue. It's a little drastic for my personal style, but there is a certain unorthodox glamour to it. The next bit looks like it hurts him a bit to get out. Do you? Would you like to step outside to see the full effect? You bet your ass you would. You're curious about what he means by effect, and this seems like more fun than signing stuff. He places documents down on his desk like they're made of glass, not paper. He looks up at his Lucius, who just sort of tilts his head to the side. You look away and give them privacy to do whatever eyeball communication is going on. After a bit, Tagore clears his throat and heads towards the door. You don't comment on the bluish fluid in his cheeks. For all the shift in demeanor, he still seems like he might kick you out on your ass if you try to get too feeling-sy with him. You start to glow as soon as you step out into his dark front yard. Not in a light bulb kind of way, but a subtle ethereal luminescence. What is this stuff? Now that is a look. I mean, there's still the unfortunate issue of your homelessness and overall appearance, and the fact that you're still wearing my abolition robe rental fee, but it's cutting edge, I'll give you that. You look almost like a real one. You don't know what that means, but you want to roll around eternally in the praise part. You ask if the look will help your case. Your case, of course. He bites his lip and looks back through the window at the papers sitting on the desk where he left them. You hope he still wants to represent you, or at least that he'd want to hang out even if he wasn't going to. You don't get a chance to prod though, because right then someone rounds a corner on the sidewalk in front of his hive. Tagore's face immediately shudders into its usual simpering mask. There's an edge of panic around his eye though, Wow, Gorjek, what have we here? It's a blue-themed troll, which, if you remember right, means he's a fancier guy than Tagore. He's grinning like Troll Christmas came early. You can feel Tagore vibrating out of his skin next to you. Who even is this guy? When he gets close enough to get a good look at you, he jumps and screeches, "What the boat, you boy, like fuck!" Tagore is frozen, the corner of his mouth pulled back to show his teeth. The new guy is ignoring him in favor of noticing that you're dressed in Tagore's monogrammed leisure wear. If his look of fascinated horror is anything to go by, you don't really know what makes you do it. You should wait for Tagore to get himself together and do the talking, but you're riding the high of him almost seeming like he was enjoying your company. Plus, nothing boosts confidence like looking like a beautiful, spooky angel. So, you toss your head, put on your best fancy guy voice, and say, "What? Never seen a real one before?" You're placing all your chips on this guy, knowing something you don't, but when his eyes get huge and he starts stumbling over himself to back away down the sidewalk, you know it's paid off. Tagore blinks and jumps right in, picking up directly where you left off. Surely someone as well informed as yourself knows a rainbow drinker when he sees one. The blue guy doesn't respond with anything more coherent than a string of yelps as he hightails it back the way he came. When he's gone, you turn to Tagore and ask him super casually what a rainbow drinker is. He stares at you in stunned silence. Are you telling me you didn't know? You nod. And that you ran with it anyway, exploiting the fear you picked up on to turn the tide of a delicate encounter to your favor? You shrug, you guess so. You tell Tagore you hope his friend wasn't too freaked out. Friend? No, I hate that guy. There are simply times when being liked by your betters is helpful. Though technically, fearing me is just as good. Better, maybe. So, thank you. Thank you. Tagore's laugh is soft. It's not sound you expected to hear. He's happy because of something you did. You can't help it, you started laughing too. Though it's a bit of a rush, wasn't it? It was almost fun. I certainly didn't see it coming anyway. I underestimated you. He gives you an appraising look, then takes a deep breath. You're so nervous all of a sudden. You feel unbalanced on the precipice of what you might be about to say. From one provocerator to another, I will let you in on something. I haven't actually encountered an alien before. Surcharge for truth reveal. Sweet relief. You tell him his act was airtight, and as long as everyone's doing the true thing, you admit you lied a bit too. You aren't actually rich. Yes, that's clear now. You have the invaluable ability to figure, though. That's potentially much better. Why don't we put your case on hold for the time being? you wouldn't have enjoyed the outcome of our legal system anyway. Preemptive interest on held suit. We can find an alternate means of you working off your debt. I think we may make a better team than I had previously anticipated. With our wits combined, we can tackle bigger and better things than traffic injuries. He flexes his hand at his side, then in one swift and decisive moment, he extends it out to you. On his face is something close to an honest-to-God, real-ass smile. I've never actually formed a legitimate partnership of any sort before, but I believe this is how it's done. What do you say? 5% friendship discount, Glow in your heart shines brighter than in any expensive and still kind of mysterious lotion. You take his hand in your firm, no-nonsense grasp of pure, inexorable joy and shake it. Friendship! Just sign here. We did it. We saved our social life. But before we do anything else, can I just point out that he looks like frickin' Robbie Rodden? Seriously. Okay, gonna take a quick pause to get a drink. Woo. And back. Time for the Sky Boy, Vickery Ratite. Yes. It's probably best for you to stop trying to predict what's going to happen to you at this point. Everything that's happened so far on this planet has been kind of chaotic. In fact, you're ready for something more familiar. You head back to the site of your abandoned spaceship. Sure, it's smashed beyond repair, but it's a little slice of home. Maybe at least one or two pieces of it are fixable. You march off in what you think is the right direction. But when you get there, you're not alone. A little guy in a hat and big goggles is standing there, gazing at your spaceship, maybe assessing it. As you watch, he breaks off a couple gears and stuffs them in his pocket. Hey! You clear your throat loudly. Hey! Good God, be gravy! Why, I've never seen the likes of you before. What strange wonders the heavens have rained down upon us today? You quickly lose any indignation you were building up. He's smiling at you, and his words seem at least somewhat amicable. Maybe you got us all wrong. Maybe this is the next person you're going to get chummy with. You cut right to the chase. No point in being around the ground leaf covering. That's probably what they call it on this planet. Oh, gee. Beating around the grass? No, it's beating around. Oh, beating around the bush. Okay, I probably close that. But you let this guy know you're a proprietor of the spaceship he's stripping, and you're in mighty need of a new friend. A friend, eh? A bussin' companion, a pal about town. I've seen nary a friend. What is that? Okay, I'll be back. Okay, apparently, we got a phone call from a frickin' scam thing. Their caller ID had the name of my grandma, and when they picked it up, it was a scam saying that we had a virus. Incredibly dumb. Anyway, I've seen nary a Tommen, Dickus, or Harry around these parts who might fit the bill. You're kind of trying to imply that this guy could be your friend. Is it too late to say that now? You try to imply it with your eyebrows. As for me, day-to-day matters here on Alternia interest me not, for I care only about hurtling at great speed through the boundless expanse of the cosmos. That's right, space! It is spaceflight that consumes my every waking thought and all my ardor. It's in accordance with my duty as a future Altonian Crusader, of course. No oxygen, no wind, a total vacuum. That's life for me, alright. Flying in space above the atmosphere, now it's in the realm of gravity's purview. Wouldn't have it any other way. Right. You get the feeling you're missing something. This guy seems really defensive about his interest in spaceflight. Like, maybe he's trying to say something totally different? Whatever it is, his internal conflict clearly takes precedence over Ursu's. He seems like a great candidate for a friend, despite the fact that his voice sounds like it belongs over a newsreel about World War II. Oh no. I've been doing the voice all wrong. Well, I'm not gonna change the voice now. This is great practice for Jake English, the worst voice I could possibly do. I have just one query for you, sport, if I may be so bold. Do you also like spaceflight? Do you yearn to see the moon shining above and the clouds whipping by as you chase and tease the impish western wind? And then also keep going past that up into space? Boop. Tell him you're not so sure about spaceflight. I'm not sure about flight in general, but especially not space flight. His eyes widen. You see them sparkle? Ah, I see. You're an individual with a more sophisticated palate. A real connoisseur of the buoyant arts you are. Someone like you could never be satisfied with the anemic affair of traveling through the inky blackness of the galaxies. I believe a jaunt to my hive is in order. Let's get a wiggle on. There was a lot going on there, but you understand that he wants you to follow him. The friendly guy takes you to a building where all of the rooms seem to be balanced on spindly-looking stilts. The hive soars above you up into the sky. Ooh, his interests are really obvious, huh? This is good music, actually, credits. Oh my god. Oh my god. Just look at these things. A lot of these are freaking like... A lot of these have like filler titles. There's... That Feel When Another James Roach track. It'd be like that sometimes. Beekeeper Who? I don't know her. Fortnite Funny Moments Epic Fails episode 413. Imagine, if you will, a situation wherein I wrote the bulk of this song at 4 a.m. and then woke up only to discover the monstrosity I'd created in my fleeting hubris. This... Hold on. Homestuck Bandcamp. On here is just labeled an ASCII image of Bowsette. I have never seen it in person. Okay, but I'm looking for a certain thing. Ah, slip of the tongue. There we go. What album? Oh my. Perfect. Curiosity satisfied. Alright, back to the frickin' game. The friendly guy takes you to a building where all of the rooms seem to be balanced on spindly-looking stilts. The hive soars up above you to the sky. He gestures to a little platform attached to a pulley system, like a rudimentary elevator. It brings you up into a small dark room. Oh, I can't hide him. His house is pretty much what you would have guessed. The walls are covered in star maps and pictures of spaceships. You notice that many of them have cheery slogans splashed across them, saying things like, "Explore the galaxies because you're required to fulfill your duties in society," and "Enlist, travel, make friends, don't get cold." Your new friend doesn't seem too happy as he looks around the place. "Just a hive for a dedicated spacecraft enthusiast, isn't it?" You nod. You're not sure what this is leading to, but no one ever went wrong relying on non-specific and plausibly deniable agreements. "Who am I fooling? You've rubbed me, potential new chum. What you see before you is a collage of falsehoods. I'm nothing but an avatar of baloney. In truth, the myriad temptations and desires of space do nothing to tickle my biscuit. Without participating in the glorious eternal conquest gives me the screaming memes." What the hell is a screaming meme? I'm so confused. "My interest lies in something a little more lower down." He reaches up and peels back one of the posters. Behind it is another poster, this one showing a view of clouds in the night sky. "Behold my shame! The truth is, I long to toss and turn within the grasp of Mistress Gravity's sweet fingers. Traverse the sky! Can such a thing be? Imagine flying within the confines of Alternia's very atmosphere, defying the very conventions of what we all know to be true. Instead of down, up. Instead of falling, soaring. Can you imagine? Can you see it before you? Could you ever dream of the existence of such a flying machine?" Airplanes exist. Oh, gee. Well, can't really say that, because this is a new planet. Airplanes seem to not exist. But then again, I can't say I've never heard of such a thing, so... Because I have. It's called an airplane. Tell them airplanes exist. "I brought you here to show you my truth. And you treat me to mockery! An airplane? A plane that floats in the air? Flying machines are a serious business! I think you should leave." Oh my. It looks like I'm being lowered into frickin' lava or something. Do, do, do. I think I'll make this a thumbnail. Maybe I'll incorporate this too. Like that. Maybe a bit bigger. There we go. Perfect. That. Anyway, let's get that other bad ending out of the way. Tell him you love spaceflight. Well then, we're in total agreement. Two kindred souls traveling hand in hand in a glorious yet inevitable future of conscripted service in space, which is, as I've already made clear, a thing I most definitely and positively desire. So, it seems we have nothing more to discuss. Toodaloo! Toodaloo. So confused. Alright, let's do this. Tell him you've never heard of such a thing. Ah, but the future is ours to build, my strange suit and unhorned comrade. What do you think? Does it excite you? Do my ideas rattle your buttons? Can't help but notice that he's referred to you as a chum and a comrade, but friend hasn't made an appearance yet. Do synonyms count, or is it just a tick of his speaking style? Look as earnest as you can and nod vigorously. You're almost positive this is the thing he really wants you to express interest in. Aha! The truth will out. You and I share this furtive passion for the indulgences of the air. A dialogue between a troll, a flying machine, and the stars. But further away from the stars than we would be in a spaceship. I cannot stress enough how different of a thing this is. You can't decide between nodding and shaking your head here, so you furrow your brow and do your best to look thoughtful, like maybe you're contemplating the differences. This fellow's demeanor towards you is definitely changed to the more temperate climate zones. However, certain physical needs are starting to exert themselves. You're still pretty banged up from your previous adventures, but right now, the aching of your Oh, gotta pause. I return. Heck. Alright, recording. But right now, the aching of your stomach is screaming for the attention. You humbly ask your friend to be if there might be any chance of getting a bite to eat. But of course! Why, if I'd known you had a rumbling in the old digestion bladder, I would have shut my yapper too sweet. Time for a good old nosh, a yabberoonie, what ho! Now, how shall we obtain the victuals? We could venture into the great unknown, which is to say, out of my hive. Or we could stay here, beholden to whatever twists and turns Lady Fate has in turn for us in the nutrition block. What you say, new timer? Well, probably be safer to stay in the hive, to be honest. Because who knows what could that really be out there. Yeah, let's stay. You tell him any food he has in the house will be fine. Surely staying here will get you fed more quickly. No problem at all, my fine and fervent fellow. However, I believe two kindred souls such as ourselves have more ways of communicating than mere words alone. I think I'm grasping the meaning behind your request. The signal from your transmitter is pinging my cranial orb's receiver. I can see what you're truly after is food for the soul. You definitely meant food for the body. You look for an opening where you might gently correct your new buddy, but he seemed to be working himself up to say a lot more things. The delectable nutrition of what a troll's truest being craves. The sustenance of thought, of imagination, of desire. That which nourishes itself better than the finest grub noodles. Art, passion, science. You must have a hankering to see my flying machine design sketches. Despite your troubles, you can't help but think his enthusiasm is kind of sweet. You nod weakly. Ah, frick. You make one last attempt, indicating that food might strengthen you to fully appreciate his work. No need to worry. I'm fully confident in your ability to take in my glorious blueprints. You have shown yourself to have quite the sturdy noggin and a discerning gander bulb. I would welcome your input. Warmth blooms in your stomach. It feels nice to hear him compliment you. You're not sure what you've actually done to earn his praise, but you definitely don't want to ruin this now. Maybe seeing his designs would be fun, even on an empty stomach. Maybe it really will nourish you on a level that will help you forget about the prosaic, earthly nourishment you thought you wanted. You tell him you're in. Not so fast. That which I am planning to reveal to you is what I keep closest to my torso pillar. It's not that I don't trust you, my footloose and horn-free cohorts, but I think I would like to trust you a little more before vivisecting myself, and displaying my bleeding organs before your penetrating gaze, which is a metaphor for exposing my portfolio. May I trouble you to participate in a small trust trial? No problem, you tell him. Your bud insists you make yourself comfortable while he gets supplies. After a few minutes, he returns with a fistful of fabrics in different colors. Here's what's embedded around the old brain box of mine, buddy-o. I'm going to tie this blindfold around your face. Then, I'm going to give you some instructions. And you're going to try to locate the case where I keep my treasured sketches. If you can find it, it's gotta mean we trust each other deeply. Like two wings working in unison to achieve liftoff. If that's how wings work, I'm still figuring out the principles of the matter. What a romp! Are you up for it? It's too late to turn back now, and really, you don't want to. It's kind of a relief to have him tell you what you can do to earn his friendship in plain terms. Well, as plain as this guy's terms ever get. You give him a thumbs up. Now we're on the trolley! Blind. He quickly ties the fabric around your face. The time is upon us. Time for the inaugural flight of our deepening bond. Frick. Time to net our fledgling companionship out the nest and see what happens. Your new friend starts to direct you around the room. To the left. No, my left. Sorry, okay, I meant your left. Now onwards to the glorious future that lies before us. You smile weakly, doing your best to follow his instructions. He sounds happy, so you must be getting somewhere. Almost to the doorway. 3 steps forward if you would be so. Wait! Crash. You stagger backwards from the impact. You hear yourself wheeze. The shock has totally knocked your lungs out of commission. Your chest jerks in tiny contractions as you gasp for air. Oh, beans! Ding, ding, darn it! There's no pain, just an intense pressure focused on the center of your face, right around where you ran into someone face first. You pull out the blindfold and you hear footsteps, which probably means your new friend is rushing over to help. He gets the blindfold untied, and his face swims into your vision. He looks utterly gobsmacked. Why, I'll be a horned beast grub food! Everything copacetic, new pal? You put your hand to your face and touch something wet. Sure enough, when you pull your fingers away, they're covered in blood. Your nose isn't gushing or anything, just sending out a couple rivulets to let you know it's having a bad day. It's not so bad. You tell your acquaintance this, but he doesn't look any less horrified. Shivering stratocumuli! All this time I've been testing you to see if I could place the tender gifts of trust in your declawed little hands, and here you've bestowed upon me the greatest trust of all, knowledge of your non-standard hematological attributes. I'm truly honored, flabbergasted, absolutely pushed to the brink of rationality by such a display of faith. Never mind the trust trial, you deserve to see my sketches. Just wait here. Be back in 2 shakes in the baby's Bobby's hindquarters. What is that right there? Okay, I guess that's a troll in some sort of spacesuit. But why is it so black? You sit down on the floor again, wiping the blood off your face. You're not going to question the stroke of luck you've been shown. Why, if you knew bleeding was the key to his effects all along, you could have incurred some blood from the sites of your multiple injuries. No! But no matter. You sniff the last of the blood back up into your nostrils, tasting metal at the back of your throat. When your almost friend returns, he drops a big stack of papers onto your lap. You page through the designs. The first few are rudimentary, mostly variations on spaceships with little notes like how to make it not reach escape velocity and less jet fuel, shaped to be less aerodynamic. Heck. But as you keep going, the designs get pretty interesting. One seems to rely on some big rotating sails to achieve lift. Another shows a light frame body attached to 4 jointed wings. You briefly wonder what he plans to make the wings out of before you see the notes stating that these are dragon wings. A follow-up scribble states flapping mechanism, how to soften rigor mortis. Isn't rigor mortis the thing that happens when you die? Oh. to like going up at a speed would kind of freaking lock our joints in place, kind of. Alright, I see. But hang on, you take a closer look at the machine's frame. This guy's sketch is pretty detailed. The frame doesn't seem to be made of wood or aluminum as you expected, but smaller individual shapes lashed together with some kind of cord. Maybe it's just a macabre aesthetic, but you think it looks like bones? You look back at the other designs. Now that you look at it, the sails in this one have a texture that might be leather or similar. The sketches themselves are picked out in a variety of colors, not dissimilar from some of the brand new blood colors you've discovered lately. Oh boy, you've been down this creepy alien road before. Using your lightest, most jocular tone, you question the bone shapes. You soften your words with a big, not freaked out smile. What's that? Well, I'm not a construction professor, you know. Gotta make use of what's available. Only cold low bloods and grubs, of course. Not an ounce of insurrectional spirit in this fellow over here. Fear not, unhorned one. These wacky cultural differences you just misunderstood. You take refuge in your own standby of nodding and smiling. It's none of your business what body parts this fellow uses or doesn't use to make his Wright Brothers transformative fan works. Friends aren't for judging people's uses of corpses as construction materials anyway. You know, when you crash land on my planet, I had no idea what to think. Vickeray, old boy, you've really shut the balls now, that's what I told myself. Telling an alien about your flying dreams, that's rough with a kitty, and no doubt about it. But now that we're here and you're having a looky-loo at my sketches, I'm thinking it might have been right for us to meet all along. Perhaps the work of the capricious Madame Destiny? Surely he's about to say that you are friends. You can almost taste those sweet, friendship-affirming syllables coming from his mouth. You're just seconds away from that coveted F-word, oh god. Or are you? Maybe you've misconstrued everything. You look back down at the sketches. Bones in this one, bones in that one. Since his plans call for the bones of aliens like him, at least if you understood them correctly. But they don't really look that different from, well, the bones you're more familiar with. Your own bones. Your bones, which have already gone through a lot today and maybe seem to be in a kind of harvestable condition, if one was so inclined. You clear your throat. You say, he's not in the market for these materials right now, is he? Like, right now? The friendly guy doesn't understand your question. You're not going to push it, but you do risk a quick glance at yourself, then back at him, then back at yourself, just to see if he's checking out the stuff, so to speak. When you look back at him, he looks aghast, Stoops. Heavens biscuit! Is that what you think of me? You think I have the time to start taking people's body parts all hickety-pickety? As if there aren't plenty of thongs and discarded rib cages to work with? That's the type of gent you're looking for in these parts? I'm afraid I'm not the type of aggressive heartthrob you're after. Can't all be the macho, bloodthirsty, romantic hero type, ready to whip out our organ harvesting tools at a moment's notice. Thought we could be friends, but now I see you're looking for something different. My apologies. I think it's best if you go elsewhere. You want to correct the misunderstanding, but I'm not fully sure what the misunderstanding is. This guy doesn't seem to be any mood for friend right now. You hang your head. Looks like this was all just a big waste of time. You hecked up badly. Misunderstood. Although I just realized we have 3 choices this time, right? Maybe I should start, like, I don't know. I guess we have to risk our lives and go out and look for food. From your budding chum's words, it sounds like he himself isn't sure if there's any food in the house. Best to risk it and go outside. You tell him your decision. Top choice, buckaroo! Foraging is how I while away most of my time, after all. There's just one small matter to trouble the old brain power. If we're venturing out into the unknown yonder, we should obtain some chow for my Lucius as well. He'll be a real grumpy Gustav if he goes too long without his nosh. You draw yourself up proudly. It's taken a lot of bizarre run-ins and harrowing close shaves, but you know all about Lucius. You inquire about Gustav, was it? What a card you are! No, my Lucius. I call him the Canary. He whips out a photo. It shows a smaller version of himself. His horns nothing but stubs. A far too big pair of aviator goggles slipping off his nose. Aw, that sounds adorable. I want to see it. Standing behind him is a large white fowl, big scraggly wings folded back against its body. You want to say an emu? Whatever it is, it's definitely not a canary. Its beak touches the top of your pallet's head with something that might count as affection. He's not a persnickety sort. All kinds of bugs and leaves will tickle its fancy. Shall we away? Shall we greet the horizon that rushes forward to meet us with astounding grace? Shall we give ourselves over to the current of time's great river? Sure, you tell him. You can leave the house. It's getting a lot easier to pay attention to only the words this guy says that actually make sense. They all make sense, you uneducated heck. Oh, pause. Alright, where was I? Sure, you tell him. You can leave the house. It's getting a lot... Oh, yeah. You kind of enjoy his way of speaking, though. If nothing else, it gives you the feeling that he's really excited about this food quest you're going on together. He's adorable. Your alien pal leads you back down through the pulley system and outside again. The trip is not so easy on your bruised ribs. The thing about walking is, when you walk, your body moves. You've had better times is all you're saying. You indicate as much to your companion. Oh boy, I hear ya. Moving while attached to alternative surface is the worst kind of hooey. The moment when autonomous flight is invented trembles ever closer to the present. Can you hear it approach? The wail of a distant klaxon, the call to adventure. It beckons us forward through the years, a golden thread ever stretching ever onward to that glorious inevitability. That's not what you meant, but his excitement cheers you up a little. Maybe you will feel better in the future when someone invents flight on this planet. Certainly by that time you'll either be further along in your healing or dead. Either way, thinking about that future brings a little rosy glow to your heart. You ask your buddy where you're going next. The world is our bivalvular sea critter. We'll go wherever the wind calls our names. Great. But if it's a short-term answer you're inquiring after, there's a specific plant the canary likes to eat. It's got white petals and leaves as red as a troll's most fluid desires. Could you give a holler if your bullets fall on something of that persuasion? You agree to keep an eye out. You continue trudging along beside him, wincing whenever your steps jolt your injuries. Maybe a little conversation will help distract you. You ask your new friend what got him so interested in flying in the first place. What could be better? Up there, free of worldly concerns, the wind in your face and the horizon at your back. Seeing the continents spread out below you. Finally feeling that your personal aesthetic is appropriate for the given circumstances. You chew over this one for a minute or two. It seems like what really makes this guy tick is a travel and adventure thing. Or maybe that's just what you're getting from his general demeanor and pretty much everything he said up until now. Nah. You're nervous to bring up anything that might make him dislike you, but in the interest of bonding, you forge ahead. Aren't there, you say with apprehension, maybe some similarities between flying and space travel? Like, maybe being in a spaceship could satisfy some of those urges? What? There may be some superficial similarities to check the common control, but in essence, the blood pressure and soul of each as different as night and day, as a mountain and a ditch, a star and a mud puddle. Don't get a fellow wrong. Space travel is fine. Well, it's the only way to satisfy our bloodthirsty and nearly immortal overlords. I look forward to such a time when I can be of service in the eternal millstone grind of intergalactic conquest. But it's missing the punch, the pizzazz, the kaboom, the truck beast honk of it all. Just as you feared, you stepped in it now. You're struggling for a response when out of the corner of your eye, you spot a cluster of white flowers. Relieved, You point them out to your companion, who races over to gather them, but when he holds one up, you can see it has blue leaves, not red. Your shoulders droop. Seems like all you're doing is disappointing your buddy, who has been so nice to you, or at least that's what you think you've read between the lines of his confusing speaking style. Fear not, my smooth-headed compatriots. These are not the loosest rations we sought, but it's this planet's people chow. What I mean to say is we can eat it. We can eat it. Since we are people, it's food for people, not food made of people. To be clear. He comes back with a fistful of the flowers and hands you one of the blue leaves. You're not at all sure that food that's safe for your buddy will be safe for you as well, but at this point, you don't have much to lose. Besides, with the way your stomach is groaning, it might as well be a perfectly seared steak. You put it in your mouth. Chewing on the leaf, you feel even more affectionate towards this guy than before. You're worried this trip was just turning into an excuse for him to run some kind of household errand, but he really did find you something to eat. Aww. You're desperate to find some way to show him that you understand his interests. You want to connect to him on a deep soul level. Anything to get him to look at you with that treasured glow of friendship in his eyes. Whenever he mentions space travel, he talks about how it's something that he has to do, some kind of necessary obligation. So maybe there's a reason he's fixated on an activity that is kind of similar, but just a little different. Maybe he doesn't want to do the required thing, the space conquest, but doesn't have it in him to rebel entirely all the way. Maybe airplane flight or whatever similar thing he is envisioning is a compromise between what he has to do and what he wants to do. A balance, like all must find, in order to live as an individual in a society that shapes one's desires from birth. You cautiously open your mouth, heart pounding if you venture to ask your pal if he maybe would rather not satisfy the demands of the bloodthirsty overlords. If maybe a part of him wants to get into his flying machine and, well, leave? For real? Seems taken aback. Maybe you should have never said it. What a huge mistake! You probably pushed his friendship out of your reach for good now. Panicking, you point to the side, yelling that you see a big field of white flowers in that direction. Your potential friend leaps to action, seemingly also glad to be given a reason not to answer this question. He races forward in the direction you indicated. In a matter of seconds, there's a yelp and your new acquaintance vanishes. Instantly, you realize your error. You didn't look where you were pointing. While walking, you unwittingly came close to the edge of a large cliff which your companion has now disappeared over. You race to the side, your stomach flooding with fear. This is absolutely the opposite of what you wanted, oh my. You look down in horror. Your friend now looks approximately how you felt when you first crash landed on this dark planet. He's conscious, his face frozen in shock, but one leg is twisted underneath him in a nasty way. You may not be familiar with his alien autonomy, but you're almost positive that it shouldn't look like that. You call out to him in distress, sure he's going to castigate you for your mistake. The strangeness of his language won't make it hurt any less to lose this guy's trust forever. What ho? What ho? What ho? Clue! Clay! His voice floats up from the ground below, weak but somewhat jovial. Is it possible he's not angry? Oh, joy is happening! Oh, delight for the body and spirit! Did you see? Did your being absorb what occurred before your very visage? I flew, soared through the air, just for a moment, but it happened! An ecstasy like none I've ever known! You hesitate. Is it really possible that he could be taking this so well that maybe your big fuck-up was a step in the right direction after all? It's definitely a little worrying to hear him celebrate after a dangerous fall, but none of that matters if you can secure his friendship at last. My strange associate, come on down here. We will celebrate in grand fashion this eve.
How did you know that a brief sojourn through unfettered air would bring me such joy? You have a fine fellow and a truly superb friend.
Your heart lifts with joy. He said it! Of course, now you have to find a way to climb down a cliff with your messed up ribs, not to mention figuring out how to transport someone with a broken leg back to the house. You're not really sure if that's possible, or when the adrenaline that's got you this far will give out and force you to succumb to your own pain. But with a night full of difficulties ahead of you, you couldn't ask for a better balm than knowing you'll face them hand in hand with your friend. Assuming he didn't hurt his friends as well. Oh, he didn't hurt his hands. Did this guy even have any other friends? No matter, you did it! Victory! Thumbs up. I wonder, could I incorporate that into here somehow? It's beautiful. Go better here though. Like that. The thumbnail is complete. Alright, wait, no, it would be, here. There we go. I've done it. I've made a friend. I am no longer the friendless loser that everyone thought I was. I am now the king of... nothing. I'm the king of nothing.